So one of the things that interested us about the coming together of those two traditions, the pure, rational, analytical architectural process, and perhaps the more emotional, more experimental theatrical processes, is that somewhere between those things is a new way of working with buildings. And I started to think of it as a sort of fuzzy logic, in a way that mathematics and physics takes the idea that the truth is not a binary issue of right or wrong. Somewhere in the middle of those things is a sort of conglomerate truth, conglomerate logic. One of the ways we tried to work through this idea of fuzzy logic was the concept of the fuzzy surgery, where you just get loads of people in the same room from different backgrounds, from different traditions, and just talk through what the issue was. It wasn't even really a consultation, it was a conversation about what is the meaning of this place, what would be the artistic priorities for individuals, for audiences, for artists, for writers, etc., etc. And it was a very open-ended process, and we deliberately wanted to make it that way. So we were open to input from lots of different traditions. We weren't prescribing or leading the audience in any way. We were just receiving raw material as a way of briefing ourselves about the building, briefing ourselves about people's aspirations and hopes and dreams of what the building could be. And it's incredibly informative, and it did change the way we thought about the project. I think it probably made it more streamlined, it made it more concise, it made us realise that a lot of the things that we thought needed doing didn't actually need doing. And it's one of the things that I think we find increasingly, that issues that architects think are problems for buildings, a lot of artists think are their greatest assets. And it's the problematic in a building which is interesting for an artist. Whereas for an architectural project manager, all too often it's the thing that has to be expunged and bleached out of the process. And so we've learned a lot, I think, from looking at the building through the eyes of artists and trying to imagine how this building would unfold through the filter of artists and audiences coming to the building, working the building, making work here.